Hello again, Kevin Culp back at you, PM Head of Cloud Management Solutions here at Supermicro, continuing our podcast on deploying an SDX SuperCloud Developer Console. In the previous video, we focused on installation of our SDX environment, putting the software bits up and, and installing them in this instantiated Ubuntu host. So the next phase here is we're going to validate, was the actual installation successful? And how do we do that? Well, that's really simple. We simply use the cube control command to do so. So we're going to use a cube control and then get PO dash N and workspace. And the top four ones here need to be in a running state. The one that's the most important is the cluster check pod to make sure it's basically running. And the other four are just equally as important too as well. So we validated that our install was successful. And so now we're going to move on to the next phase of taking our resource kit ISO, mounting it, and then going into the CD images folder or navigating to the images folder and loading our container images. And so I did the mount here earlier. You can see it's already pre-mounted here, this loop command, so it's already mounted. So we should be able to now successfully migrate over to that or navigate to that folder and take a look at the images folder. So if we do an LS, you should see two folders there, Helm charts and images. And then here's our container images here. So before we actually start the install, I wanted to talk about two things that are very, very important. And that has to do with the Harbor service itself. Number one is having a permanent login to that service and being able to create a project over there called public that you are going to push these resources or these essentially container images to that service. And so permanently logging in requires you to, on the first time, put a username and password. So you say, well, wait a minute, Kevin, like, what is that password or username? If you recall two videos ago, we actually plugged in this information into the configuration file. So let's navigate back there and take a look at this file. And then we're going to do an ls command and we see conf.tmp. We're going to cat it and let's see what's in there. And here is the two that we plugged in to that file. Harbor account is admin and Harbor password. So let's establish a permanent login. And on the first login, you would be challenged with username and password. Let me see if this is in my history buffer. And it is. And so we're going to issue this nerd control login command. And you see here, the password is stored in this uncrypted file location, and we've successfully logged in. So now we're going to look at the Harbor service. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's bring up Harbor and bring it over here. And you see here, I did some testing earlier to make sure that the three images are working and being uploaded, but we'll take you through how to upload those. And remember, we've created this new project here called public, and it needs public access. So we've already created it already, but that's how you'd create a new project. And then you can look at each one of them individually here to show that there are three artifacts here for pause, Nginx, and workload cluster provisioning. All right. So on the next video, we'll go through the nerd control commands to tag and load. That completes this video podcast or this video clip. Thanks for joining today. Will you see you next time? Have a great day.